So clinicals of the pericardium, they are very important. Again, not only from their clinical significance, their clinical implications in the medical practice, especially of the general practitioners or the cardiac surgeons or cardiac physicians. Even nowadays, University of Health Sciences has started to give many um, clinical based scenario questions in the SAQs, short essay questions or short answer questions, as well as MCQs. So now almost 25% of the questions, they are based on the clinical scenarios involving the certain clinical conditions associated with the normal anatomy of a structure. So clinicals of the pericardium, the very famous clinicals of the pericardium that are given or asked in the written paper by the University of Health Sciences or GC University. These include the pericarditis, cardiac tamponade, pericardial rug, pericardial effusion, paracentesis, and surgical significance of the transverse pericardial sinus. So starting with the pericarditis, wherever these four words, alphabets, these four alphabets are mentioned with the term itis, they usually in 99% of the cases mean inflammation. Itis refers to inflammation. Pericarditis means inflammation of the pericardium. Since pericardium has 3 layers, out of which one is single and the other layer has 2 further layers, fibrous pericardium, the outermost, and serous pericardium comprising of the parietal layer, which is the peripheral layer, and a visceral layer, which is closely invested or adhered to the surface of heart. So, inflammation of which of these layers of the pericardium is called pericarditis? Inflammation of the serous pericardium. These sentences, these facts, they are often asked in the MCQs, and students, they find such MCQs to be tricky because their concept is either not clear regarding that particular topic, or they have not gone thoroughly through their topic. That's why they find it difficult to attempt such MCQs. So inflammation of the serous pericardium is called pericarditis. One of the further stages of the pericarditis, if it does not get treated in time, will lead to the excessive accumulation of the pericardial fluid. Where? In the pericardial cavity. And where was pericardial cavity located? It was located between the parietal layer of the serous pericardium and visceral layer of the serous pericardium. So excessive accumulation of the fluid is a result of the inflammation of serous pericardium. Now beta, you must know what are the functions of the pericardium, because since now pericardium is inflamed, what is going to happen as a consequence, as a result of this inflammation? Functions of the pericardium, they are going to be compromised. Now, what are the different functions of the pericardium? So, pericarditis, one of the further stages of the pericarditis, if it goes untreated, it leads to excessive accumulation of the fluid by the mesothelial cells of the serous membrane, that is the parietal and the visceral layer. So this excessive accumulation of the fluid will lead to the pressure on the pumping ability of the heart, right? If the heart gets surrounded by the pericardial cavity that is filled or overloaded with the excessive accumulation of the fluid, what will happen to the heart itself? Heart will be compressed. Heart will be more tightened. within the pericardium. हार्ट को बिल्कुल कोई स्पेस नहीं मिलेगी अपनी नॉर्मल कंट्रैक्टिलिटी करने के लिए भी, बल्कि उसके ऊपर चारों तरफ से प्रेशर और बढ़ जाएगा, लीडिंग टू द कंप्रोमाइज्ड कंट्रैक्टिलिटी और पंपिंग ऑफ द हार्ट। ठीक है, जिसकी वजह से क्या होगा, आपको पता है हार्ट ने क्या पंप करना होता है, what is the function of the pumping of the heart, why do we require the heart to pump the blood, right, to keep the circulation going within the different parts of the body. तो आपको पता है कि right side of the heart is related with the venous blood, receiving the venous blood and sending it to the lungs, and left side of the heart is related with the arterial blood, receiving the arterial blood or oxygenated blood from the heart and pumping it through the left ventricle via aorta into the rest of the body. So this circulation that is going on in the two sides of the heart or four chambers of the heart will be severely affected. Now what will happen? The main sign symptoms will arise because of the pooling of the venous blood. जब आप एक पानी के पंप को आगे से ब्लॉक कर देते हैं तो उस पंप के अंदर जो पानी होता है वो पीछे बैक प्रेशर पे एक्यूमुलेट करना शुरू हो जाता है। तो जो उसका पीछे मेन सोर्स होता है पानी का, वो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता ओवरलोड होना शुरू हो जाता है, और अगर वो इलास्टिक इन नेचर है तो वो फूलना शुरू हो जाएगा लाइक अ बैलून ड्यू टू दी बैक पुलिंग ऑफ द वाटर. Similar is the case with the venous blood coming into the heart via superior vena cava and inferior vena cava, where into the right atrium. So अब क्या होगा कि चूंकि हार्ट अब पंप ही नहीं कर पा रहा कि ब्लड रिसीव करके आगे को पंप करे, चाहे लंग्स को दे या एओर्टा को दे राइट लेफ्ट साइड्स पे, तो जो वीनस ब्लड आ रहा था राइट एट्रियम में वो पीछे, अब पिछली जो वेन्स थी जो उसको ला रही थी इनटू द हार्ट, वो पीछे अब पूल होना शुरू हो जाएगा. वो साइन सिम्टम्स पेशेंट पे कैसे अपीयर होंगे, एक डॉक्टर को कैसे पता लगेगा कि इस बंदे का या इस पेशेंट का हार्ट कंप्रोमाइज्ड हुआ है या इसका फंक्शन पंपिंग एबिलिटी कंप्रोमाइज्ड हुई हुई है. उसकी जो गले की, गर्दन की और फेस की जो वेन्स होंगी पर्टिकुलरली वो जो है फूल जाएंगी, स्वेल हो जाएंगी. ठीक हो गया. उस कंडीशन को हम अपनी मेडिकल टर्म में क्या कहते हैं? कंजेशन ऑफ द वेन्स, swelling of the veins, especially of the head and neck. ठीक हो गया. तो हमें compression of the heart, compression of heart को हम क्या कहते हैं? cardiac tamponade. वो क्यों होता है? causes उसकी क्या है? excessive accumulation of the fluid either due to pericarditis. Secondly, अगर कोई stab wounds हो, if somebody unfortunately gets stabbed by a knife or gets or receives a gunshot into the chest, affecting the heart, फिर क्या होगा? इन नताइज की, इन कॉजेज में हार्ट की जो पेरिकार्डियल कैविटी है, पेरिकार्डियम की जो पेरिकार्डियल कैविटी है उसमें ब्लड एक्यूमुलेट हो सकता है. ठीक हो गया. तो उस कंडीशन को क्या कहते हैं? हीमोपेरिकार्डियम. ठीक है. तीसरी कॉज क्या हो सकती है कार्डिक टेम्पोनेट की? व्हाट कैन बी द अदर कॉज फॉर द कार्डिक टेम्पोनेट? दैट इज कंप्रेशन ऑफ द हार्ट, मायोकार्डियल इंफार्क्शन, जिसको आम जुबान में हार्ट अटैक भी कहते हैं. तो हार्ट अटैक में की वजह से भी हार्ट की जो पंपिंग एबिलिटी है दैट कैन बी अफेक्टेड, वो कंप्रोमाइज हो सकती है, वो कम हो जाती है. और ये तो थी कॉजेज. Pericarditis, hemopericardium, that is accumulation of the blood in the pericardial cavity as a result of stab wounds or gunshot wounds into the heart, and myocardial infarction, which a layman calls heart attack. अब इससे इसके साइन सिम्टम्स क्या होंगे? स्वेलिंग ऑफ द वेन्स, एंगोर्जमेंट ऑफ द वेन्स. कौन सी वेन्स? पर्टिकुलरली हेड एंड नेक की. आई होप दिस पॉइंट इज क्लियर टू एवरीबडी. Now let's move on to another condition which is called pericardial rub. Now let me clear you another point right here. Being a doctor, you must know the difference between a sign and a symptom. Symptom is the one that is told by the patient to the doctor, whereas sign is that point which a doctor either sees or examines or finds out during examination of the patient, or simply sees with the help of naked eye during the examination. So the point that is found out by the doctor is called sign, and the points that are told by the patient to the doctor are labeled as symptom. So what is pericardial rub? This is a sign, because pericardial rub is a sign in which a doctor hears a sound in the when he hears the sound of the hearts by putting the stethoscope on the heart to listen to the heartbeat of the patient. If he hears a rustling sound, like two cloths, silk cloths, two layers of silk cloth, they are rubbing over each other to produce a rustling sound. That rustling sound coming out of the heart, heard by the doctor through the stethoscope, is labeled as pericardial rub, rubbing, rub. So why is this sign present? Why does it occur? Because in pericarditis, often inflammatory fluid is excreted, which then accumulates, making the parietal and the visceral layer toughened. They become tough. They lose their soft nature, soft structure, and they become tough. So those tough layers, they are unable to move smoothly over each other because of the presence of that hard inflammation of the pericardium, serous layer की pericardium की inflammation, वो hardening हो जाती है ultimately. किसकी hardening हो जाती है, किसकी toughening हो जाती है, serous layers की, parietal और visceral की. तो जब वो एक दूसरे के ऊपर रब करने की कोशिश करती हैं तो वो स्मूथली रब नहीं करती, सॉफ्टली रब नहीं हो पाती, जिसकी वजह से ये साउंड प्रोड्यूस होती है, लाइक टू लेयर्स ऑफ सिल्क क्लॉथ. कोई रेशमी सा कपड़ा है, उसकी जो दो तहें हैं वो एक दूसरे के ऊपर जैसे रब करती हैं तो वो साउंड प्रोड्यूस होती है, उसको रसलिंग ऑफ द सिल्क कहते हैं. और ये साइन है और ये सुनाई देता है डॉक्टर्स को, जब वो डॉक्टर जो होते हैं वो हार्ट पेशेंट उनके पास आता है, उसकी हार्ट साउंड सुनते हैं थ्रू द स्टेथोस्कोप. Then we have another condition, clinical condition associated with the pericardium. It is labeled as pericardial effusion. Effusion again means accumulation of the excessive pericardial fluid. Whatever the cause is, it is defined as excessive fluid accumulation within the pericardial cavity. Last but not the least, we have a procedure which is called paracentesis or pericardiocentesis. What is this procedure? What is the definition of this procedure? Aspiration of the pericardial fluid, meaning अगर ज़्यादा fluid इकट्ठा हो जाए, that is the pericardial effusion, तो उसमें से जब हम हार्ट में से उस excessive fluid को ड्रेन करते हैं, निकालते हैं बाहर एक syringe के जरिए, उस प्रोसीजर को कहते हैं paracentesis और pericardiocentesis. So the drainage of the excessive fluid from the pericardial cavity with the help of a needle is labeled as paracentesis or pericardiocentesis. Where is this procedure done? What is the site or location that through which we do this procedure or perform this procedure? You put the needle of the syringe on the left side of the thoracic wall into either 5th intercostal space or 6th intercostal space, right? And the needle is supposed to be obliquely upward, backwards on the left side. Remember, not on the right side, but on the left side. In which intercostal spaces? Left, 5th or 6th intercostal space. Why? Because if you remember your knowledge from the reflections of the pleura, you might remember that here the pleural lines of reflection at these levels, they are absent. Fine. As well as this is the level where cardiac notch on the left lung is present. So while passing this needle obliquely upward and backward into the left, through the left fifth or sixth intercostal space, you will not encounter the pleura or left pleura or left lung. So you will be safe enough to enter the heart, especially the pericardial cavity, without damaging the left pleura and left lung. So this was all about pericardiocentesis, also called paracentesis. Now, surgical significance of the transverse pericardial sinus. If you remember from the last lecture on the transverse and oblique sinuses, you might remember this diagram on the right side of the slide. Here you can see the index finger of the doctor. He is inserting his index finger through the transverse sinus. And what is the location of the transverse sinus? It is part of the pericardial cavity in the form of a transverse passageway that is located between the aorta and pulmonary trunk anteriorly and superior vena cava pulmonary veins posteriorly. This transverse sinus allows the surgeon to approach these great vessels of the heart during the cardiac surgeries. If the surgeon requires to ligate the blood vessels or the great blood vessels during the cardiac surgery, so this passageway, transverse sinus, provides an easy passageway for the surgeons to approach the great vessels of the heart during the cardiac surgeries. So this is the surgical significance of the transverse sinus. So these were the very important and few clinicals related with the pericarditis.